What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all been good. Hope y'all been healthy. We back. We back with schedule one today. And yo, I figured I might as well give y'all a live video of what I'm thinking about when making a fully automated farm. This time I can actually make it fully automated. So I figured I would make this fucking video, show y'all what I'm thinking, the processes, and all that shit. Alright? Let go. Alright, y'all. So this is what I'm going to be utilizing for the chemist and the workers. My main focus is the workers, so of course we have a lot more workers than chemists. So I'm going to be very coordinated with this. I'm going to put these lockers here for the chemist. Right. I should have enough. I forgot the count of my chemist, but it's cool. And then I'm going to just come over here. I want to see which worker is plastered on these lockers. So I'm going to just place it facing me. Right. I know I have more workers in this, but let's start assigning. Yeah, so this is how we're looking. We have the movers against the wall, right? So I can see each face. Like I said, the movers are very important because they are doing the routes, all right? So I have to see who's who. Then we have the chemists over here. As I can see, I removed a few lockers because I don't have that much chemists, all right? I stocked up each of them with money, so they're good. Well, not all of them, but they're stocked for at least 2 to 3 days, all right? Well, probably more. I gave them $1,000. So we gonna get into an important part right now, which is the routes. All right, so I'm gonna let y'all know how I'm thinking when efficiently trying to create a fully automated farm and how I'm structuring the movers to be very, very efficient. All right, so we're gonna start with my son Timothy. Routes. So we're gonna go upstairs. Quickly explain for those who don't know, I have an 8 stack in terms of shelves. Each of them have different ingredients. Some of them repeat, some of them don't. All right, 8 stack here, and then if we come into this room, I have a backup of the 8 stack. All right, I unassigned all employees of their routes, or all the movers of their routes. So I'm going to first assign this one guy, Timothy, to the first route. So my goal here is to have like 2 sets of workers. 2 sets of movers, right? First set of mover is to bring it down to the mixing station. The next set of movers is to take whatever's on these racks and put it on this rack. So Timothy, his job right now is going to be placing whatever product is here. And of course, I'm going to get into the filtering, but I just want to show you the process. So I'm going to do this until he's stocked up. So I'm going to do all the shelves. Actually, instead of doing all the shelves, I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 because I have the workers to split this. So 2, thinking to do like 3. Nah, I'm gonna do 2 a pop. Alright, y'all. So I assigned Timothy to 2 shelves. Alright, peep game. I'm gonna explain to you why. So the reason why I only applied him to 2 shelves, right? He's gonna be taking it from these shelves and going back here is mainly for efficiency purposes. All right, when you assign a worker to more than a mover to more than 2 shelves, they're gonna do a lot of back and forth, especially if your shelves are always getting stocked up. All right, so it is very efficient to have your mover only move 2. So what Timothy is gonna be doing to give y'all an image is 1, you're gonna put the Coke here, come back, right? Then start with this shelf. The horse come, put it here. Feel me? So back to stage 1 and repeat. And that's way quicker than having to do 1, 2, 3, then come back to the first stage, which is the first route. Feel me? Like, I hope y'all see that vision. We're gonna move on to the next one. I'm gonna just stock up all these people with the routes of a 2 set. We're gonna start off with him. Sorry, I did 2 here already, if y'all remember. So we're gonna do this and then 2. Now we have a total of 4 so far. So the beans, right? So we're gonna move on to the next one, and we just gonna keep on doing this. So okay, so now that that's done, what we're gonna do is we're going to relap the movers onto each other's duties. What I mean by that, so everyone right now is assigned to just 2, right? I think I have about 4. So if we relap the workers in order, right? So if I would have the first set of movers that are moving the first 2 shelves, move the last 2 shelves after he's done with his route, that will be very efficient, because that is also ensuring that that mover is covering for his ass, and the last mover set is going to be assigned to the first 2 shelves. So everybody's relapping each other's duties, and with this you can have and ensure that all products are moved the second it's hitting them shelves. All right. The only con I can say about this method is you're gonna have a lot of shortages. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if y'all know how long a delivery takes to come, right? So you gotta be on top of it with the deliveries. As soon as you realize that all the movers have ran out of your deliveries, have ran out of the bays, you gotta order. You gotta keep on ordering, and do emergency drops if anything. All right. You can also probably make another backup just in case and just restock each one. This is all BS, random shit. But if y'all really want it and y'all have the warehouse, y'all can have an 8 stack here and an 8 stack here, and basically have a flow of products going into each other to give you enough time to gauge when a shipment will come or when you're going to do an emergency product drop. All right. So relap the employees. Comment down below if you're confused. I can further explain to you, but I'm about to relap them right now. All right. So my son Timothy was the first set. We're gonna start off with him. So he started at the first. Now we're gonna have him pick up from the end. So before we go any further, I made an error with the placement of the shelves. The 2 most right shelves have no purpose. They're just a miscellaneous shelf, y'all. So y'all can discard that if y'all are following this method. It's really supposed to be an 8 stack. So I ended up making an error on the placement of the shelf when I was assigning him. And I ended up skipping a shelf too. So for you guys that are trying to copy this, if you're gonna copy this, you don't need an extra 2 shelf. I just use that as miscellaneous. So at the end, we're gonna have him stock up the batteries, right? Then, be careful, y'all could get confusing sometimes. So this is the second to the end. We're gonna have him take the beans, just like that. And he has one more slot where you can assign him to do anything. So if I want him to go to the brick press, which is highly unlikely, the goal of these movers is to just stay upstairs. If I want him to relap somebody else's work, he can also do that if there's nothing in these shelves. Get what I'm saying? So that's the first set done. Now we're gonna go to my son Brian. So he's the second in line. So he's doing the horse cum and the white shit here, right? So because he's doing that, we're just gonna go in descending order. So we already did 2. We're gonna start with this. So that should be the blank, right? Blank shelf. 1, 2. I highly urge you guys to count. All right, and then this is the motor oil. Feel me? He also has 1 slot. So move on. All right, so he's the 3rd person in line, and he's in charge of 2, 4. He's in charge of okay, so he's in charge of the beans and this shit. So we're gonna have him take that shit out properly. So 2, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where he's gonna take from, right? And place it here. 1, 2, 3. So this is the 3rd. Boom. Okay. And then we have 1 more person in line. My son. Oh no, Betty Boo. My fault. Her name Emily. I said Elamy. Her name Emily, but we call her Betty Boo. Facts. All right. So last 2. Boom. Right. Right about here. And then the first shelf. Boom. So it's almost like a flow. If you think of it in an image aspect, like it's almost like a flow. the first set is flowing into the last set, and the last set is flowing into the first set. Okay, yeah, so moving on to phase 2, the second set of movers. All right, we already finished the first set of movers. So the second set of movers is very important, and the reason I say that is because they're taking whatever's from the main shelf and bringing it down to the mixer. All right, so as y'all know, I have 4 movers that are up top, right? That leaves me with 2 more movers. Okay, so the main reason why I have 2 movers down here as opposed to like 4 movers is mainly because the movers are able to get to each mixing station in time without causing a delay. So if you're like me and you're doing at least 20 pieces of drugs in the mixing station, you know that it takes a minute each to mix. Okay, so I want to show you guys, rather than telling you guys, I want to show you guys with a timer how quick it takes for a mover to basically go from the top level and bring the ingredient to the main shelf, and how quick it is from the second set of mover to take that shit and bring it down to the mixer in time, okay, for the next set of mixing. All right, let go. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna show y'all how quick the movers can get from point A to point B, specifically bringing it to the mixing station, and I'm gonna start up a timer to see if this is over or under a minute. All right, let's go. So as soon as we continue, I'm gonna start the timer. Let's start the timer. Well, I wanted to start moving first. There we go. All right. Timer set. Timer set. Let's see. So, for those who don't know, the mixing stations have nothing on it. So the mover's main job is to take whatever's on these shelves and bring it down. So I need to be able to. I'm gonna set the time that he put it there. All right. That's that. They just set it at that time, okay. Very in sync. And then he's going for the second one, all right. Boom. All right, y'all, so y'all see what's going on. Y'all see how efficient the movers are moving. My main concern was getting this shit done in under a minute, feel me? And that's what we did, feel me? So these movers get the upcoming drug ready to be mixed in under a minute, and that leads to a lot of productivity. You know, you don't want your movers double dipping and taking longer than it should. All right, so let's move on to the next. So with the next, this is probably one of the final steps before I show you like the automated farm. First things first, I filtered all the shelves. When it's y'all time to do this, safety. Y'all see what's going on. Look, even the backups, I dreaded doing each one of these. I had to filter each slot, yeah. So when it's y'all time, safety. Okay, so the final part to this is, now that all my shit is filtered, right? And I just showed y'all how efficient the movers are moving. Now I'm able to, I don't know if y'all remember, but mid video I told you guys that when you're assigning the movers to the shelves, make sure it's a 2-stack. Feel me? Make sure they're assigned to 2 shelves rather than 3 or 4, and make sure it's double dipping at that, like a flow chart, right? So the reason I said that is because if I come over to Timothy, he has an open route, right? So now what we can do is utilize the loading bay, right? And y'all know where I'm going with this, right? Let me show you. So now that we done this, we don't have to put it in order because each shelf is filtered for a specific thing. All right, so we don't have to do it in order at all. So Timothy just got filtered there. I'm gonna do this for the rest of them. So I'm gonna just take turns. I think we have we have an even of 6. So I'm gonna do 3-3. Okay, so I'm gonna get back to y'all when I do that. All right, y'all. So y'all see what's going on. This will conclude the segment of this video. I finished assigning all the employees to the loading bays, from the loading bays to the shelves. So if they're actually standing here, there's literally nothing to do. They're probably just waiting on the chemists to make their move. But yeah, y'all see the process. Listen, man, if y'all know a more efficient way, let me know in the comments. Like, y'all know I'm always open to opinions. So let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all think of this. And yeah, like and subscribe. You know, I'm very happy that there is a fully automated process now that I can say that's fully like automatic. So this is a big W, Tyler. And yeah, I can't wait to see more updates that come in the future. So I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.